All right, what's going on, traders? How's everybody doing this morning? Bitcoin coming off a little bit. There's a couple levels that we're going to be taking a look at. So, yes, well, during Sunday's members only live stream, I basically said that I did not want to see Bitcoin ride up to that 8-hour ETH level and roll over. That's exactly what it did. I mean, it didn't get an absolute flawless touch of the level, but I mean, it was front ran. So that's right there was where people were looking to get short, and boom, there it is. People sold. Bitcoin's coming off. Bitcoin is still not, it's not deadly, right? I'm not looking for shorts just yet, but I can tell you one thing. You're going to probably more than likely close below the 21 exponential moving average. And in my rule set, as a day trader, as an intraday scalper, once I got an asset that gets below its 21 exponential moving average, I can start looking for shorts. So you're going to get that. You can see down here that the 50 exponential moving average is coming in right at daily support at $58,455.47. So are you going to bounce from here? Yeah, you're going to bounce, even if it's just a small bounce. These are two key levels in Bitcoin's overall structure, and it's on the daily. You're also coming into, well, yeah, no, you're not. You're well below the 50 on the RSI. But this calculates, this only prints once the daily's closed. So if the daily was to go back up close to its open, this thing would be above the 50. It'd be right at it on a closing basis. So, I mean, you're in an area to where if the bulls, if the bulls are going to pick this thing back up, they need to do so pretty soon. If we go over here and look at when Bitcoin was in its bullish trend, but this is when it was parabolic, mind you. Bitcoin has been nothing. It's not been parabolic since the April sell-off. But you can see here how this 50 exponential moving average caught price. So, I mean, it can be an area where Bitcoin catches support and then turns around, rolls back over. The fact that you have taken out your old all-time high twice and rolled over on both attempts does not look good to me. Okay, Bitcoin is an asset that usually, when it cracks above its all-time high, that's when the short selling or the short squeeze starts, and you start seeing Bitcoin operate on a parabolic level. This is absolutely not parabolic. This stuff here is starting to look to me more like price just ran up to tag that all-time high again twice to generate enough liquidity to head lower. That's what it's looking like. More than like, I don't know what to say to you guys. So, I mean, if you're in this thing with a lot of money and you're expecting $400,000 or $500,000, you should really think about finding an area to get out if it decides to roll over. This is terrible. It's not a massive day like this, but I mean, the day is still young. The day is just getting started. We haven't even hit the New York Open yet. But there is the level there. That's going to be the main level of support. It doesn't mean that price will stop there. So please don't just buy that level saying that Trade Talk said that that's support. No, it's potential support. Daily closes have the potential to be support. We never know where that support will be. We let price show us. Right now, price is showing you that it is looking to get a small bounce from there at least. So if we go into the intraday price chart, man, this looks disgusting. It looks bad. It's been a one-sided market since the daily candle opened. So usually the daily candles used to open at 2000 hours. Now, since the time change, they open at 1900 hours here in America. Boom, there's your open. Your open's at 63,624.60, which is this candle here. So your daily candle opened and then just straight down. You can see this lower pitchfork median line coming into play again, acting as what we thought would be support. We were looking for the Bitcoin to roll over and start making, higher highs and higher lows from this point. This is a clear and concise breakdown. All right. So keep that on your minds. Last night, well, since I couldn't take that trade, that 8-hour Heath level, I did not take the trade because it took place before I noticed it. And I only like to take these entries if I'm in the perfect spot. So, but seeing that Bitcoin was pretty much red all day yesterday, I figured there's another crypto somewhere out there that I can look to get short. So I did last night on Mana, okay? Last night. Mana is trading down, puts in this stuff, and then boom, big bullish candle. So this is where I got short. Right there. Pushed up into that 4-hour Heath level, aka supply, also known as supply zone. That was my short entry. I took profits when we took out the target of low of day, moved my stop to break even, and 25% of the position is still running. Now I will be looking to get more situated in some of these things. Right? Yesterday was just because it's difficult to take short positions on bullish assets because generally shorts get ran over. But the fact that it's been bullish for a long time and not really making any headway, same could be said for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been trading in a range. If you missed Saturday's upload on Bitcoin, go check it out because I talk about Wyckoff distribution, what happened back over in here, what people calling Wyckoff or 3-drive topping formation, and how similar that this may be. Okay, I talked about these 4 weeks. Notice how the ranges are muted. Yes, we got a higher close on this weekly last week, which was good. That looks like you're going to see bullish continuation. And then now this week opens and it's made nothing but one-sided moves straight to the downside. This bearish candle's close, that is going to be your weekly support. Let's see here. It's this one. So that's going to be your bearish support. Should catch price $60,854. That's the weekly open. If this thing continues to, or weekly support, apologies. If this thing continues to head lower, then watch to see if this area becomes resistance. But these 4 weeks have been muted. These are weekly, so 4 weeks Bitcoin's essentially went nowhere, bouncing back and forth from 57,000 to 68,000. So a $10,000 range. But up at these heights, a $10,000 range is more like a $2,000 range at these heights. It's nothing. Nothing in comparison. If you look at these 3 weeks here, these are bullish weeks. Then you get up here back to where the old all-time high is, break it, close red on the week. Then last week, we break that level again. We didn't close red on this week. However, we're seeing bearish continuation the week after. So this is looking more and more like people have sold into this wick, right? Especially since Bitcoin made this low down here and came straight up. The price targets of $400,000 and $250,000. Even I put out a chart showing you that, there is a potential that I could get up to those prices, and it still can. But just be very, very careful. If this starts to become exhaustion risk like this stuff over here, then you're going to be low quick, right? You're going to see $50,000 in a heartbeat. Bitcoin can make massive, massive moves. Massive moves. Right now, it's not looking so sweet. Now, I am absolutely okay with Bitcoin coming down here, taking out this swing low right there, and then resuming back into the bullish trend, heading back up to 150,000 bucks. Bitcoin wants to do that. I'm okay with it, as I am 100% long on my spot hodl accounts. Okay? That's what you guys need to understand. I am long Bitcoin 100% on my spot account. I only buy red weekly candles. That's all I do with that account. I just buy. Now, on the other account, on the KuCoin account, I will short it or buy it because it's basically an inverse swap contract that I'm scalping to accumulate more Bitcoin on. If Bitcoin wants to roll over and start its bear market phase, then I am more than happy to short it. If Bitcoin wants to continue higher and go up to $150,000, I am more than happy to buy it. Either way, right? That's why I love day trading, because it gives me the ability to bounce in and out of these markets without any concern of what's going to happen tomorrow. I look for my setups today, and then I let it play out that way. I have found that way is my edge, so that's why I keep doing it. And this YouTube channel was built specifically to teach people the edge that I use if you are interested in scalping these ranges. Also, it's a pretty good channel to watch for longer term direction as well because I am a candle analysis. That's what I do. I like to analyze candlesticks, and that's all of them. Monthly, yearlies, quarterlies, all of them. So right now, Bitcoin still looks bullish. It is like Ajay said, did test the monthly open right there. So I mean, if you're looking at the monthlies, this thing is still in great shape. Absolutely fantastic shape. Remember also last time I did post a chart, a longer term asset on Bitcoin on the BLX index, showing you that every time Bitcoin has broken out with a monthly close above a key level or an old all-time high, Bitcoin has always seen bullish continuation. Always. I was getting a little bit excited because I assumed that the move down at the beginning of the month for the first week was going to be the monthly low. But it looks like that I am wrong on that, all right? It can work out the same. Know that generally in the first portion of the candle's time, whether it's a weekly, a monthly, or a quarterly, if it's a monthly, the first week to week and a half, usually, not always, but usually will set the high or low for that monthly range. So we are still basically kind of in that time frame where we could have just set a monthly high. I was hoping we had set the monthly low, but we'll see how it plays out. This thing still has 14 days, so you're 2 weeks into this. And it's a small range, very small range so far. 2 more weeks to go, but as of right now, it's a very small range, so there's no reason to massively be concerned. Here's your 2-week candle, last 2-week sessions range. You can see, took out the high. Now, are we going to take out the low? And more importantly, do we close below it? Once we got the breakout of 2-week resistance, that's when I changed my narrative to become bullish, right? People that's been following this channel knows since this happened, I changed my tune from bearish to bullish. And it's been bullish since. But when you broke out above this range, $48,802, you did not retest it, right? Not on a daily or a weekly. Here's your weekly, you break out, you don't come back in for a retest. Check the daily. You can see how for a couple days this area caused Bitcoin a little bit of trouble, but then the next day it opened up, it did not come back in for a retest. So Bitcoin could go all the way down there on a longer term aspect and find support and run up. If you put your fib levels up from that low to this high, you'll see that the 618 is down here. So in this leg or this price run up, I guess you could call it expansion. If this is a corrective phase, you can correct all the way down to the 618 retracement and still find support and still run higher. So this is not extremely bearish, all right? So just be careful. Don't be buying up here. If you're looking to buy, find these areas of support and then look for potential buys, right? Here, I'll put them on the chart for you. First and foremost is going to be this one, the 50. It's coming in hot, so be careful on that one. Second one, 56,000, 56,005. And then this one here. Any one of these 3 areas could be potential support. Either one of these 3 areas could act as support. Bitcoin could turn around and just cruise right back up to new all-time highs. It's about buyers and sellers. It's not about 4-year market cycles. It's not about mathematics. It's about buyers and sellers. If Bitcoin does not have buyers at $69,000, Bitcoin is not going to go above $69,000. Supply, demand. You have to have buyers at these high prices for the price to continue to go up. All right? If nobody's buying up here, if there are only sellers up here, price will change its direction and go lower looking for those buyers because the market loves equilibrium. If the market's trading sideways, that's equilibrium. That means the market has found a good amount of buyers and sellers and it will chill out there. When you have an imbalance of said buyers or said sellers, that's when your price will you will have a repricing or an expansion in one direction or the other. This looks like there's no buyers up above 68,000 bucks. So where will the buyers be? Well, we know that there's a bunch of buyers, a bunch of a bunch of buys down here, right? We know that for a fact because Bitcoin put in this beautiful support down here. This is also where the Giga Chad, Michael Saylor, and Elon Musk, this is where they bought, right? In this area. I have a chart somewhere that shows the exact price and date, but I don't feel like digging it up. But here it is. It's down in this area. So we know that that area acts as a lot of support. And price would have to get well below that for those guys to look to exit their positions. Will they? Michael Saylor says he never will. Will Elon Musk? I don't know, man. When you got a couple $1 billion setting in an asset and you're now down a couple billion, I'm figuring they'll probably exit their position. Or their board of directors will fire them and then close the position for them. Because Tesla's a publicly traded company, and so is MicroStrategy. Even though Elon owns the bulk majority of the shares, he still has shareholders to contend with. All right, and so does Michael Saylor. He's not the boss. He's only the face and the CEO. If the rest of the shareholders want him to close those positions, they will close them. So moving forward, we're going to be looking for the next couple days. I need to see Bitcoin get up out of this area, or I'm going to start shorting it. It's that simple. It's that simple for me. As far as Forex goes, I have not seen one single thing in the markets. Nothing. I'm still riding out on my pound yen short from up here on this wick, so that position is still in great shape. I also took a position on Euro Aussie, and up here, and this position is in good shape. Okay, so we'll keep holding on to those and see what happens. Today, the only thing that I seen that would be a possible trade would be the NZD Swiss franc. Okay, you can see that it is sloping downward. You have lower highs and lower lows on the daily chart, so you are in a daily downtrend, a near-term downtrend. You are trading up into an old area of resistance right here. So you have tagged that level. If we go into the intraday chart, you can see what I mean. Here is that tag. This is going to be the open of the day. You can see that you had 4 hours trading below the open of the day. So at this point in time, it was red. If price gets above 65,207, it will be green on the day. This is Forex.com, and as you can see, that spread is absolutely ridiculous. 5.6 pips. So if I wanted to take a short entry at the open, let's just see where 5.6 pips would put me in this trade. Well, for some reason, it's not. There we go. So I'll just call it 5.4 since I'm lower, but if I put a buy entry here, or took a buy entry on a market order here, my position would get filled down here. That's disgusting for an intraday scalper, right? 5.6 pips is bad. If I'm only looking for 20 pips, that's a quarter of it. But have no fear. I think Oanda's is much better if you have an Oanda account, obviously. 2.4 pips, so almost twice as good. Yeah, Oanda's good. Oanda's a good broker. But keep an eye on that hourly Heath level. If you get a close above it, then you're no longer looking for shorts on this asset. Okay? Right there. 65,200. It's 5:53 a.m. So there is still time for this asset to run up above all these and stop people out. If you get an hourly close above it, then I would not be looking for shorts on it any longer, as that is the safest way to trade. And that's the only one I've seen out of every Forex pair there is. And then let's go look at KuCoin. This is all the futures contracts that KuCoin offers. And as you can see, there is not one. Oh, there is one. Look at that. XXP blasted back up and got green on the day. It's the only one. When I just looked at this like 5 minutes ago, everything was red. Well, maybe 15 minutes ago. But it says it's up 1.3%. So it's not looking good out there. It's a sea of red. We got assets down 11, 10% on the day. And like I said, the New York session hasn't even opened yet. So that's going to be another part of the day where you get a sudden rush of volume. we'll see if those volumes are selling or buying, right? We'll see. Whatever price does after that, we'll have our answer. But right now, I'd be looking for shorts on most of these assets for intraday trades, right? Most of them are a little bit extended, and they all pretty much look exactly like Bitcoin. There's Algo, right? We've been watching Algo for a long time. It's just been trading sideways and difficult to trade, to say the least, right? We've been looking for this thing to roll over. Nice, or two big nice wicks right there, liquidates everybody, and then you get your move to the downside. Classic crypto. Same thing here. There was your high, wick above, liquidates, move to the downside. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, let's see what everybody has to say. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very upset with this analysis, but I give it to you guys straight the way I see it. Sometimes I'm wrong. I admit it. 100%. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. .USDT, please, or .USD. No, USDT. So we'll look on Coinbase. There's your daily. It looks almost like Bitcoin, and not exactly. So we had a big pop above the old all-time high on Polkadot. They were supposed to have an auction to lock up the float, see DOT go higher, and see crazy insane prices. Remember, guys, you can't see it on this chart. Let's go to one that you can. All these crypto assets, guys, have already had astonishing moves. Okay? Massive moves. So to look for, another 3-4x from here it's extended. On the day, it looks just like Bitcoin. You're testing daily support. Here is daily support, or potential daily support. $40.48. That's this low, or this close of this bearish candle. That's your lowest close. 'Twas also a bear trap, because this was the lowest close. Then you got to close below it. Then you seen bullishness. Boom. So this level may be the support, and if it's not, this one here might be. They're so close, I would just leave it right there. $40.48 should be support. If it closes here, then you can look for that bounce. But the bounce is going to be the important part. Does it find resistance for another chance to roll over? Or is this just a move to liquidate traders to run higher? Hopefully the latter. But there it is. Next area of possible supply on the daily is going to be 45.91. Right there. So a bounce up to there, that could be potential resistance. All right. Other than that, there's nothing more to say about it. Let's see where all your moving averages are. They look exactly like Bitcoin. But you've been under your 21 exponential on the daily for several days. I didn't notice that, or I would have looked to short DOT on this candle's close. Sorry. It's early. On this open, 47.47, that would have been potential entry for me, seeing how it was below the 21. But I did not take that trade. I'm just simply saying. 50's above daily support on it. RSI is down. ATR is slightly moving up, so your daily ranges are getting bigger. Okay, a lot of people have been saying that there's no volume in the uptrends on these assets. Therefore, it's going to be... Here, let me pull this up. Therefore, you're probably going to see... Okay, got it. No volume. Typically in traditional markets, I'll say it like that, as to not step on any toes. Typically in traditional markets, a decrease in volume is bullish. Okay? See here? Your volume decreases, your bulls have control. Typically when you start to see volume kick up, that means you're looking for what? You're looking for downside, right? Notice how your volume's getting higher as you get to the top, and then boom. So typically, decreasing volume is bullish for an asset. Decreasing volume, price goes higher. Increasing volume, potential reversal. Here's Bitcoin. Decrease in volume, going higher. So today's volume might be big. I don't do volume analysis anymore. I used to when I first started trying to learn how to chart assets. The reason is because you don't know particularly what it is, right? You don't know if it's buying volume or selling volume. You have no clue. You just know that a lot of volume went down on that day. So I never seen an edge. Massive volume on the lows. So volume, increased rising volumes typically can look, not always, but typically you can look for reversals both to the downside and to the upside. Because even when you put in these lows, the volume rose as price was going lower, and that's where you found support. I mean, it's just anybody, you can look at it if you want, but typically it's usually good when you see decreasing volume for bull markets. Bitcoin getting a slight bounce. Good morning. What platform do you use to short Bitcoin? I use KuCoin. There is an unpaid link down in the description if you so choose to use it. I do not get paid for the link. I do not have an endorsement for KuCoin. I just use the platform and I like it. It's as simple as that, right? I do not have a lot of my savings into that platform because it is an offshore broker. They can take your money without any reason and you will never see it again. Be very careful with offshore brokers. Okay? So I do like its platform. I like its executions. There's not much slippage. I generally can get filled with my entire position almost every time I take a position. So I'm not getting like 30 lots there, 1,000 lots here, 500 lots there. It doesn't do that. I generally go in, my whole position is filled. So I like it. But there's that thing in the back of my head that always says be very careful because they can take your money. So just keep that in mind. But so far it's been a very good platform. I live in America. So if you live somewhere else, then there may be other platforms that you like better or choose to like more. Our options in the US are limited as to trading on margin with crypto assets. All we have is Binance US, FTX, and KuCoin, as far as I know. That will allow Americans to trade on margin legally. Good morning, Heath. Good morning, Phil, aka the Swedish Chef. Good morning, fam. Good morning, Agile Leader. Sure ain't November we expected. Sure ain't the November we expected. No. Generally, Bitcoin's flying in November. In past market cycle data, right? In past data, Bitcoin tops have usually came in the month of December. So I'm not saying that this is a top by any means, guys. I'm an intraday scalper. That means I only care about the weekly ranges. I'm trying to scalp the weekly ranges, daily ranges, so I can be bullish this week, bearish next week. I don't think that Bitcoin's going to hit $250,000, right? I just don't see it. That would be a 4x from here, almost, right? That's insane. Can it happen? Yeah, if you can find buyers above $68,000, anything can happen. But this looks like exhaustion risk. It looks like it's exhausting. I mean, this over here was a 3-drive topping formation. So you got a high, insignificant high, another insignificant high. High, insignificant high. We can bounce and get another insignificant high. Absolutely. This exact pattern could play out. It's unlikely, right? It's unlikely that the same pattern plays out again. The markets try to hurt as many people as possible, so they may just be setting this up, and we could see $250,000. Who knows? Get everybody short, and then blast it off into their faces. It could absolutely happen. Will they get back to positive percentage? I have no clue. Nobody knows, my friend. Bitcoin Bitcoin test 8-week moving average. Just looks like an 8-week test. I'm sure you can find a moving average for somewhere. I'm not sure what you mean 8-week. I don't know. But yeah, it's testing the 50 exponential moving average as well as daily support for now. And it's getting a nice bounce from there. And those are bounces that typically happen. I mean, when you have two good levels, when you have an exponential moving average on the daily chart, no less, and a daily support, you're typically going to get a bounce from there. People are taking profits ahead of that level. Anybody who got short up here, they're shedding their profits as price trades into that level. Therefore, at the level, you start to get a steady rush of buying coming into the market, as well as limit buy orders that are already sitting there waiting for the test of the level. So you typically will get bounces at these levels. What matters is, where does it close? Does it close above it or below it? That's what tells us what we need to know. The closes. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Giles. My theory is that price is being manipulated down till Q4 financial bonuses are disrupted. It's possible. Price is manipulated. That's for sure. But we trade with the manipulation. That's what makes this channel successful. Or the strategy that I implore, that I built for years and years. We try to stay on the right side of the markets. I think everyone expected a big pump in November, so they manipulate to fake them out. Yep, that's what I could see happening myself. Everybody's expecting November to be a big, strong month. Yep, they can bring it down. A purge beneath 53,797, this low down here, that would pretty much take out 90% of all retail. More than likely. Anybody that got long again in this pump, they'll probably all be liquidated by that point. That's a safe bet. There might have been a couple that bought down here. But the majority of retail likes to FOMO. They like to chase price. They buy as price is going up. So yeah, you can see a big push down there, and then Bitcoin could, after everybody does that and gets short, then they reverse it like this over here. Everybody was getting short, boom. Same thing here. Bitcoin is going lower. Everybody gets short with this bear trap, and then boom. The market does what it can to hurt the most. That's what it's looking to do. To hurt the most. Finance industry are just going to push the market and then pull the rug. It's possible, guys. Protect your downside risk. Use stops. Forced stop losses. That stops the bleeding. Or rather, stand aside. There's no way they'd allow massive pump without massive dump first to shake out the degens. I actually look at this as bullish. Light. Guys, listen. Nobody knows what price is going to do. Nobody. A lot of people think they do, but they don't. They cannot see the future. They hope what they say ends up working out. That way they look like a genius. That's why I stay humble and tell you guys all the time that I have no clue what the market's going to do. When I take a position, I have no idea if that trade's going to work or not. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. When I took that position on Mana last night at the 4-hour ETH level, I had no idea that in less than 1 hour, my profit target would have been hit. No clue. This channel I'm trying to help you to take these entries at the higher probable areas. Okay, that's the whole goal. Because if you're taking your trades at high probable areas, then your win-loss ratio should tighten up a bit. Then you can start to tweak your strategy, start to implement rules. Like, for instance, I don't look too short anything that's above the daily 21. That right there will keep you out of a lot of trouble. Things like that. You can implement your own rules once you have a good solid foundation of what support and resistance is. This channel is completely disrupting every single other YouTube channel out there because nobody teaches support and resistance the way that I do. Nobody. Everybody pulls out a thing like this and then says, look here, you got a bounce there, and almost a bounce there. So that's support. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. You'll never be able to get good solid fills or take laser precision entries using support and resistance like that. Using support and resistance like me will get you in on those nice, beautiful entries to where like you can get top ticks in most cases if you're looking for shorts, or bottom ticks if you're looking for longs. Oh, damn it, the chat just glitched out. Let me find where I was. All right. Hey, Heath, what do you think about Mt. Gox sellers coming at November 20th? I don't know anything about it. Isn't Mt. Gox dead? Aren't they gone, dead, in the wind? I didn't know they were still alive. For Bitcoin, sorry if you covered it. Yeah, I don't know, my friend. I have no clue what you mean by that statement. Mt. Gox, I mean, if it's something in the news, I don't pay attention to news. I'm mostly a price action analyst. Yeah, wishful thinking can be dangerous. Absolutely. It's the most dangerous thing in the world, is thinking that you know what the market's going to do. That's what I'm trying to say. When you approach these markets like, well, I know price is going to turn around here, so I'm going to go 100x long. Well, those are going to be the times where you get your butt handed to you, because simply you don't know what the market's going to do. That's why risk management and a strategy is so important. You have to be able to implement rules. I have no clue ever if any of my trades are ever going to work. That's also why I don't make speculations on price targets. Because I have no clue, right? How can you pick a price target using old data? I mean, it goes on buyers and sellers. You have no data that shows you where the buyers or sellers are, or who's buying, or who's selling, or how much, or how often. You don't know. So you will never be able to get a good price target. I mean, you can pick targets like this, right? Intraday, like that would have been my profit target. Why? Well, because it's support. Like you can do that consistently, but picking random targets, that's why I don't do it. Heath, you are a gift to CTM. Thank you very much, my friend. DNK Kalev, can you please look at ETH? Yes, absolutely. Sorry about the rambles and the rants. If you're new, welcome. You will hear those quite often. I can't remember where it is on the purple list. Sorry, it's early. ETH, where are you at? There you are. It's coming off a bit too. ETH was looking a lot better than Bitcoin because it was like systematically moving up beautifully, right? Couple days pullback, a nice expansion. Couple days pullback, expansion, pullback, expansion. So it was looking good. It was looking good. It stalled out here above, the old all-time high. It sucks. That's generally when you want to see these things rock and roll. Past data shows that, they do that. Even over in here, once you got above all-time highs, like this was all-time high, right? You got above it, and then boom, you're right back down in it. A few more days, and then boom, you're right back down in it. So, I mean, this can just be a pullback. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. There's the 50 on ETH, and your daily support on ETH would be, you're not even close to it. Not even close. So ETH can go lower. Support 39, 25, 26. This one could be support too. I mean, let's get rid of the old all-time high. If you want to watch here, this bearish candle, my mouse is screwed up. Right there, 42.90.16. If you get a daily close above that, then this is support. Now the next day, obviously it can break, but, gives you a good idea what to look for or when. Next daily heat level or, supply potentially, 46.23.23. It's got, or 32.23. It's got to get above that on a daily closing basis for bullish continuation. If that were to occur, I would absolutely shift my bias back to bullish, looking for bullish entries on Ethereum or Bitcoin rather. I do not trade Ethereum. I only buy it as well. I do not have any ETH on KuCoin's platform. The amount of money that I have on the platform is about as much money as I'm willing to risk, if that makes sense. If the US for whatever freezes my funds because of whatever reason, or they do, then I want to be able to still operate on a day-to-day basis, still, have my other trading accounts and whatnot. So I don't have any ETH over there to trade ETH, but we'll see. There's your supports: longer term support, near term support, near term resistance. So this could potentially be your weekly range here to here. XRP, yeah, let's go look at it. I'm pretty sure all of these things are going to look just like Bitcoin. Where is it? XRP, Ripple doesn't trade on Coinbase anymore, right? I don't know why I chose Finex. Yeah, it stalled out there. Supply crushed it. It just could not get above it. That's your potential short. Or if you're bullish, your exit. Either way, once this day right here was put in for shorts, I would have been looking for a retest of this day. And you can see that here you got it. It traded sideways, but you get the gist. Same thing on XRP as as ETH. Daily support, 1.09.170. Where does it close in conjecture to this line? If you close down below it, your next area of support will be 99.449, potentially. And the same thing right there is going to be possible res. 1.1840. So this is potentially our weekly range shaping up. It is just Tuesday. You're very realistic. You're not addicted to opium like some others, but make sure that this guy doesn't see my words here because all right. Do you short with leverage on KuCoin? I absolutely short with leverage. I can only use up to 5x in America, but other countries can go all the way up to 100x. Would I use 100x leverage? Absolutely not. If you are not a decent trader, I would not use leverage. I would play with spot until you have a consistent strategy, one where you are consistently executing orders. Consistency must be built before profitability can ever be found. You must be consistent in the way that you take trades. If you're taking trades because of head and shoulders and this that pattern and that pattern and this pattern and that pattern and that pattern, and then over here there's this pattern. If you're taking entries based on that stuff, you will never ever find consistency. You must be consistent in the way that you execute trades. Same reason, same time, same everything. Do it over and over again. I do not take positions on FX from 7 to 10 o'clock in the morning. That's it. After 10, I do not execute any new orders. You have to have rules and consistency. Yeah. So I do use leverage, but if you're not consistent, I suggest you don't. Leverage is a good way to wreck you. Leverage can help you if you're on the right side of the position. It will absolutely destroy you if you're on the wrong side of it. And some of these crypto pairs, like if you've got 5x leverage and if you're risking 5% on the stop loss, for instance, it might just literally be so close to your entry you can't even see it. Like when I was messing around with Shiba that one time when it was ripping off everybody's faces, it was moving so fast and the ranges were so big that a 5% risk on 5x the same spot. So if you would have tried to go in with a 5% risk with a stop loss and entry, you more than likely would have gotten stopped out instantly. Boom, 5% off your total account's equity. That's terrible. That's terrible. So you have to learn how to manage risk for sure. But yes, I use leverage Definitely. My favorite thing are proprietary sounds you make for specific price action. Burr and boom. Those are proprietary. I should definitely get my lawyer on the phone and have him work that out so no one else can use those terms. Awesome. Oh, the sky is falling. Not quite. Alex Builds. How would you know before it's passed? Oh, is there a bill? I don't. Yeah, Alex Builds for that. That you're probably talking about the bill, the big monster bill. I can't remember the name of it, and I actually did a video about it not too long ago. There are other YouTube channels that probably more than likely will go through that bill and tear it apart. I know crypto. What is it? The Coin Bureau guy. He does really good about keep an eye on laws and changes that politicians are doing. If you're not subscribed to him, I strongly suggest subscribing to him. He has absolutely fantastic content. Mt. Gox, they found 180k of Bitcoin or something like that, and they look like they will provide it to the guys who lost out. Oh, well, that's cool. They should. They screwed over a lot of people. Oh, yeah. Every 10,000 in transactions being reported stable coin. Talk tomorrow. Could be a part of it. Absolutely. I got you. I see what you're saying. Who knows if it has anything to do with it, though. Yeah, true. Something in the air. And it's not a virus. KK237. That's a great comment. Good morning, Mike. And you are welcome, my friend. Shiba. Yeah, let's go look at it. I was speaking about it. Let's go take a look at it. I can't remember what it is. Sheeb. But I want to look at it on KuCoin. There it is. Shiba Inu. It's not having a terrible day at all. I mean, it's back up to support. So there's daily support. Where is Sheeb going to close? It's been closing. They've been closing above this level. So is this going to be the first day that it breaks down? It's possible. I'm sure a bunch of people were looking for this to break out to the upside, being a bull flag and all or whatever. So it didn't take out this low, so I would assume that would be the next target. So let's see where it closes today. Like I said, it's still pretty early in the day. I mean, the New York session hasn't even started yet. Potential resistance on this is going to be right where it opened. I mean, the daily open is going to be resistance. So it's going to be a tight range. Anything under that, you're going to have to go into tighter chart or smaller time frame charts to find new support and resistance areas. For instance, here's 8-hour old resistance. And that would get you right underneath that swing. So that would be a potential good spot to look for support. 4221. 4221. See if that area holds as support. And since it's an 8-hour chart, you're only watching for 8-hour closes. And that would probably be close to the 50% range of that, or 50% mark of this range expansion to the upside. Shiba exploded, right? It's a meme coin. So these meme coins, especially in a bear market, if Bitcoin starts the bear market, or whenever Bitcoin starts its bear market, these meme coins are going to get freaking slaughtered. The majority of them are going to go right back where they came from. So please be prepared for that. If you bought Shiba down there at 580, man, you're in great shape. Great shape. But if the bear market starts, it's probably going back down there. Heath Boom, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Haha, says Giles. He's when the daily RSI falls to 1. Are you looking for support there for bullish continuation? When the RSI falls to 1. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean when the daily RSI falls to 1. It's on percentages. I mean, I use the standard whenever you click on the RSI, whatever comes up standard is what I have the settings on. The only thing that I'm looking for on the RSI is the 50, right? That's it. Because anything above 50, you're typically looking for bullish entries. Anything below the 50, you're typically looking for bearish entries. I do not look to short overbought, and I do not look to buy oversold. Nope. That's not what I'm looking for. The only thing I care about on the RSI is the 50. Are we above it or below it? As that's going to give me my near-term bias for entries. So, not sure what you mean by that, my friend. If you could clarify, that'd be great. Ren DMC 555. What's your monthly average gains? What's my monthly average gains? Well, I haven't had a red month in a long time, so let's leave it at that. I'm not gonna tell you how much money I make, bro. If I had a course or something, then I would have broker statements and everything for you guys to look at. But I don't, so. Thanks, Heath, for the live stream. You're welcome, my friend. Victor Santa Maria. I have people that trade with me inside of the Trade Talk Discord, right? And there's still people there. So if there wasn't any value getting from this stuff, they would be gone. And that you have to pay to get in that. It's not a course, but you see what I mean? I'm not doing that live. Yeah, here's my bank account information. Here's my passwords and social security number. Yeah, you can have all of it. I have a look at US indices. Yeah, let's go look at the S&P 500 real quick. It's having a small down day as well. Let's get off that stuff. I had a red week a couple weeks ago. That's the first red week that I've had in over 7 weeks. I have not had a red month this year at all. There is your daily. It's their daily range on the S&P 500 is tiny, right? It's very, very small. However, you are red on the day, and it's not massively red. It's in a very tight range. It found a low down here, but this is what I would be looking for, seeing how this over here is the news, the CPI print, I think. Yes. So you've already traded back down to that original breakout, and then you got a bullish bounce. However, I would be watching the daily open and on the hourly closing basis. So what's the daily open on this? I don't know what time this opens. Let's see here. Let's go to the daily and just do it that way. I think it opens an hour after, so that would be 1800 hours. Because Forex opens at 5 o'clock p.m. So right about there, that's your daily open. As long as you're trading below that, I'd probably be keeping an eye out for shorts. All right. You can see here, you broke down below your daily open. You opened the day, then you had a push up. So that's your high of day. Then instantly you sold off, got back below your opening price. Here is a retest of your opening price. Boom, straight down. Now you're trading sideways, getting ready for the New York session. If you're closing hourlies above hourly resistance, I wouldn't mess with it. Right? There's a nice little gap there from that resistance to that open. So any closure inside of this price gap, I would leave it alone. If you cannot close an hourly above 468, 420, I would be looking for shorts on the S&P 500, targeting low of day, which would be that right there. So from there to there, it's a small range day. Is it an inside day? Looks like it. Yes, it's an inside day. Inside day just simply means you're trading inside of yesterday's range. There's yesterday's high, there's yesterday's low. Today we are trading inside of that. So if I do have a bearish target, it would more or less be yesterday's low. And bullish targets would be yesterday's high, if that makes sense. I am not bullish on today's range, obviously, but that can change. That's why I said just keep an eye on the open. An hourly close above your open, you're probably going to trade and close green on the day. You have daily resistance right there. Boom. right? So yesterday you traded up into it and you rejected and closed red. I would be looking for that to continue because order flow is slightly bearish. Now I'm talking about yesterday's order flow and today's order flow, not anything else. There's your daily res, hourly close above it, instantly, boom, down. That's a trap. Then here is your bullish push, didn't even get back up to supply. And you've seen bearish continuation. Took out resist or support to the downside even on a closing basis. So I would be leaning short for today on the S&P 500. However, I would be watching this candle's wick. An hourly close above that. And I'm not shorting it. Not shorting it. As long as it's not, I'd say anywhere from there to there be a good potential position. And yesterday's low would be all the way down here. But up there, I would definitely take some profits at the daily low, today's low, for sure. Absolutely. Hourly resistance is 4,684.20. This hourly close. And let's see, where's the NASDAQ? I don't remember where I have the NASDAQ or Rooney. I think it's in my Forex right there. Why is the NASDAQ in my Forex? Don't ask questions. I can't answer those kind of questions. I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. Here we go. Daily, same thing. Here's your daily open on the NASDAQ. Morning, baby. What is all that nonsense down there? Let's do this again. Daily open on the NAS. Small inside daily range as well. Same as the S&P 500. These things do trade similar. They're not exactly the same because they have different sectors inside of them, but they basically trade the same. So many bots and algos on these assets, they generally trade the same. So daily open the same thing, got above it, split second, then you traded lower, boom. So that was it. The NASDAQ actually has a better opportunity in my opinion. I would be watching this hourly ETH level right there, your supply zone. See if that level holds as resistance on a closing basis. Your yesterday's low is all the way down there. Now this thing can rock and roll as you've seen on that range there. This is just, it's tightening. It's a tightening range. So watch supply, hourly close above 16188.75. I would not take a position. If you tick that level and then start to roll over, I would potentially take a chance on it. And I would put my stop above that swing high. And then here's your IWM. Same thing. Now the IWM is mid cap, so it wasn't making new all-time highs until this. Right? This thing had been trading sideways for so long. You finally got that breakout on it. And that breakout came from the inflation print. I do not know why. The nation's highest inflation print in 20 years caused the S&P 500 and other risk markets to become bullish. I have no clue. You'd have to talk to some fundy guys about that. But yeah, so it's chilling. The daily range is red once again. But you're so far from your daily range and pre-market you're trading under it. Chances of you testing it are slim. It's all the way up there. So there's nothing for me to do on this IWM. Potentially you could watch that for resistance if you're only targeting this low. Okay? But that'll come on the open, like a 5-minute wick up into hourly res. You want to see that reverse at that point. If you're watching intraday price 5-minute charts, hourly, I would mark that out and then just see what happens with the 5-minute candle on the open. Because if you're a trader of the stock market, then you know usually on the open, the first 5-minute candle is a massive one. It's big. Chances, it might go up, find resistance, and then look to head lower. Where that resistance will be, I have no clue. Here's old support. So either here or here. 238.99 or 238.58. That's where I'd look for potential res. Intraday. And I'd only be targeting today's low there. Take profits, move stops. Anything extra is just cherries on top. Thank you. You are welcome, my friend. I'm not going to tell you how much money I make, bro, but I got a pina colada train. Yeah, I have my own islet, and that's why my internet's terrible. I have to pipe it in over. Do you have live signals that we can subscribe to? No, I do not. No, I do not. In the Discord, I do post trades that I'm looking at. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I do not have a channel. I'm trying to teach people how to be killers themselves. You know what I mean? If I can get a small community of killers, then we can have a lot of fun. I just want to teach people how to do it. It is what it is. But no, I don't offer signals. Occasionally, I don't even post trades inside of it. It's more or less for people to help ask questions to get a better understanding of the strategy. All right, guys, it's 6:30, which means I got to get ready to look for some positions before the New York Open. If you have any questions or comments, always drop them down in the comment section. Once YouTube gets done posting this video, as the internet is terrible and I've dropped a lot of frames, so there might be some skippages inside of it, but it's okay. As soon as Elon Musk sends me my dish, my internet will be fine.